Hey, what's going on, guys? How are your meatballs? Today we're going to be talking about some Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies information via Tom Henderson over on Twitter. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's an extremely reputable leaker around the COD community, as you guys already know, the long sensation. But with that being said, we're going to be talking about Mob of the Dead, a Zombies Chronicles 2, and if that's going to fit into that, as well as the NACT and UNTOTEN remake that we saw within the gameplay trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies. No, these two things aren't connected. They were tweeted out separately, talked about separately via Tom Henderson, but one of them is crazy, one of them's just going to be more of an explanation onto what we saw within the gameplay trailer, and obviously that would be the NACT style thing that we saw 2 or 3 days ago. But before we jump into all that really cool information about Black Ops Cold War Zombies, make sure you guys do just go ahead and check out the description, because we have links there for stuff like the Black Ops Cold War Zombies playlist. Since this is a Zombies channel, you guys will have a ton of awesome Zombies content, whether it's elite Call of Duty Zombies guides, videos, anything informational. I got you guys covered no matter what it is Zombies related, so make sure you are subscribed right here. This is your place to be. I don't care what anyone says. This is your place to be. But again, while you're down there, make sure you guys check out the other links, like the Twitch link, twitch.tv/JoeMatt123, because I stream Zombies every single night on Twitch for like 4 to 6 to 8 hours, and we have a shit ton of fun. You guys have been killing it over there. Thank you so much. But yeah, check out the other links down there. Now jumping into the video. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Mob of the Dead may be coming to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies, and you may immediately be saying, what? How does that make sense? In Black Ops 4 Zombies, they remastered Mob of the Dead, or actually remade Mob of the Dead into the map Blood of the Dead. Despite a lot of people hating it, people still want Mob of the Dead back in its true form, and to be honest with you, I don't think we're gonna ever see that. However, it's seeming like that it will make its way into Black Ops Cold War Zombies, because someone asked Tom Henderson, do you have any news regarding our hypothetical Zombies Chronicles 2 on Black Ops Cold War? And first off, I never thought we'd ever get a Zombies Chronicles 2 on Black Ops Cold War. I thought that any remastered maps, meaning Transit, Die, Rise, and Buried, were going to be kind of like on disc or the DLCs for the map initially, and then we move into the brand new maps, which would also help to save time, dev power, because the maps were apparently also already done. Buried, for example, was in Blackout. The entirety of Buried was in Blackout, and the maps were supposed to be coming to Black Ops 4 Zombies as far as we know, so it would make sense that if they weren't coming to Black Ops 4, that they'd come to Black Ops Cold War Zombies, and that could very much still be the case, that they come in the earlier half of the game, and that there is still a Zombies Chronicles 2 in Black Ops Cold War, remastering some of the maps true to their form, like we got in Black Ops 4 Zombies, Tagged Tone. Maybe we get Call of the Dead 1 for 1. Maybe we get Mob of the Dead 1 for 1. Anything is definitely possible, but I just don't see how they'd go back and again reuse characters like George, especially when they literally can't if they want to get new voice lines, or go back and pay the actors on Mob of the Dead. Stuff like that is just not going to happen. So I'm really curious to see how this all pans out. And by the way, the response to Tom Henderson's tweet, by the way, was just a gif of Mob of the Dead, which again, the reason why it's making me wonder is because of what I just said. How would they actually make that work? It would have to be a brand new map, and even Tom Henderson actually goes on to say, yes, but I do not know in what format the map would be in. Again, that's what we're talking about right now. It could be a direct remake, as we didn't see in Black Ops 4 Zombies. It would, in that sense, it would be a remaster, because in Black Ops 4 we had a remake, which made it Blood of the Dead, not Mob of the Dead remastered. But then he goes on to say it could be a remake with the new crew involved, etc. I don't know. So clearly, maybe there was something thrown around about Mob of the Dead for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies, but it doesn't seem like that it's a definite thing right now, and that's what I want to talk to you about in this video. Although it sounds really insane and really cool that Mob of the Dead could be making its way into Black Ops Cold War Zombies, and seeing the theme of remasters already, although Transit isn't confirmed yet, we do see NACT and UNTOTEN, seeing that already starting to happen. I do think that it is possible that again we could see Mob of the Dead just in a different form, like Tom said. Maybe it is just Mob of the Dead, but it has to be a different crew. Obviously, it's not going to be Primus, Victus, and Ultimus unless they again write them out or write them back into the story like we said they potentially could in our last video. There's a small chance that could happen, but I doubt that. Most likely they'd be revisiting these maps again as this brand new crew, maybe even uncovering some of the stuff that the Primus crew did in Blood of the Dead, for example, that the Mob of the Dead crew did in the map when they were there. I don't really know exactly how it would make sense, like I just said, but those are just some suggestions on how they could make Mob of the Dead work in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Again, I never thought in a million years we'd hear that Mob of the Dead could very well be coming to Black Black Ops Cold War Zombies, especially from somebody as reputable as Tom Henderson, again, who clearly knows a lot about the behind-the-scenes stuff in Black Ops Cold War. But again, I do want to note that although he is reputable, and although this is a leak, or although he is reputable, and although he has gotten stuff right in the past, not just about MP and Warzone, but also in Zombies, this is a leak. That's what I meant to say. And leaks, as you guys already know on this channel, just as it was with the initial Zombies Chronicles 2, are always subject to change. So he even states, yes, and somebody commented on his tweet to the Mob of the Dead gif and asked him, again, question mark, and his response to that was, yes, but I do not know in what form. It could be a direct remake and blah, blah, blah. He goes on to take his yes. So again, he doesn't know that much about this either. He just heard something about Mob of the Dead. And again, Zombies Chronicles 2, it's so early right now. How could you even talk about a Zombies Chronicles 2 when we haven't even gotten the full game yet? And that's nothing against Tom Henderson. You just have to take all of this with a huge grain of salt, especially since Zombies wasn't even formally announced yet for Black Ops Cold War Zombies. And I know I keep reiterating the same points, but I think it's very important to realize, although it's extremely easy to get hyped about Mob of the Dead could very well be coming back to Black Ops Cold War Zombies, it's just it would be a little bit better off if you guys didn't get too hyped about it yet, and we waited to see kind of how things played out, even just after the initial announcement of Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Because for all we know, right, maybe Treyarch shocks us and they tell us, bang, Transit, Die Rise, and Buried are on the launch of Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Then we have an idea of what we're in for the season. I'm not saying good or bad that information would be, because obviously the maps would be full-on remakes and they'd be, in a way, a brand new experience, but you know what I'm saying. We'd have a little bit more of an idea of what we could be getting with Zombies in the form of continual remakes or remasters. But with that being said, I just want to mention, we're going to move on to something else now that Tom Henderson had actually talked about yesterday, about the NACT and UNTOTEN kind of style remake that we saw. But I thought it was very important to talk about this Mob of the Dead leak, because again, it could very well be coming back to Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Again, he's extremely reputable. Anything could happen. I'm just kind of shell-shocked that I actually saw that. That's all I'm saying. And I know a lot of other people are going to see that and go, wow, this is nuts. Mob of the Dead, they're going to get really hyped, and if it doesn't happen, they're going to be so disappointed. So again, I wanted to talk about this, reiterate multiple times that it is a leak. Although he's reputable, it's still a leak. Even if it's true now, it's still a leak. Leaks are always subject to change, and it is extremely early in, and you know what? We're not even in the life cycle of Black Ops Cold War Zombies yet, guys. We're in the pre-life cycle of Black Ops Cold War. So although, again, some leaks from certain people can be taken extremely seriously, we have to take this with a huge grain of salt. Now, let's move into the other stuff Tom Henderson talked about. This pertains to NACT and UNTOTEN in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. So again, as I mentioned in my last video, NACT and UNTOTEN is obviously going to be remade within Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies, but as of now, we don't really know whether or not that's going to be a NACT and UNTOTEN completely expanded upon, meaning NACT and UNTOTEN, kind of like in Revelations, is the base map, but all around NACT and UNTOTEN, we have another massive scaled map. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I doubt it, but it is important to know, again, the Zombies Chronicles 2 initially supposed to be a thing in Black Ops 4 Zombies. That never happened. The maps were reportedly pushed back to Black Ops Cold War Zombies. NACT and UNTOTEN is apparently a map, or not apparently, NACT and UNTOTEN was a map within Transit in Black Ops 2 Zombies, so it would make sense that we were seeing NACT and UNTOTEN within Transit in Black Ops Cold War Zombies in that gameplay trailer. And you even see some other aspects very similar to Transit within that gameplay trailer. Some stuff that even Glitching Queen brought up was even down to the flooring in the area that people thought were the power room. Even the flooring in the Transit power room looked extremely similar to what we saw in the Black Ops Cold War gameplay trailer. Again, does this confirm necessarily that it is a Transit remake? No, but I do want to keep in mind that for those of you guys who are not believing that this is Transit, and again, I'm not saying that it is or it isn't, that it is going to be a full-on remake. If this is indeed what we're seeing as Transit, it is supposed to be a full-on remake, and we already hear multiple people around the community. I believe, I could be wrong about this, it was DK Dynamite, link down below in the description, absolute legend, but I believe it was one of his sources that mentioned that it was supposed to be coming back in a very different form. And that's what we're seeing, not even just from him. Again, I believe it was DK's source, but it could be somebody else. But not only from him, but from many other people we've seen multiple different times saying that that Transit was supposed to be very different. And this is where all the speculation rooted in maybe there's no fog, maybe there's no fire, maybe they do, again, as we talked about in our last video, they explore their original route for Transit, because if for those guys who don't know, once again, Transit was supposed to be a lot more of a different map than it was. was. They laid down their groundwork for Transit, but due to time constraints, console constraints, and a whole bunch of other limitations that they had on their shoulders, they could not make the Transit of their dreams. And again, that was just one idea under the Transit bubble. Sure, they wanted to, again, go all the way through with their one Transit idea that they had in Black Ops 2 Zombies, but there were also other Transit ideas that they had up their sleeves that they obviously never took advantage of. And again, within Black Ops Cold War Zombies, although some of the aspects of the gameplay trailer don't look exactly the same, they could definitely explore that now in Black Ops, just now in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, opposed to Black Ops 2 Zombies. Even if it doesn't look exactly the same, a remake is a remake. It's not supposed to look exactly the same, or it could look exactly the same, but it doesn't always look exactly the same, even in the similar areas. And even something like Alpha Omega compared to Nuketown is a very good example of that. But now moving into the more specific information that Tom Henderson gives us. Again, this is nothing groundbreaking, but what he says, I'll just read it through and explain it very quickly, is that NACT and UNTOTEN is reused by the Russians for their nuclear program, and the zombie Nazis escape and infect the site, and there's both Russian and Nazi zombies. Obviously on the map there's going to be a brand new crew. He just did this in a list form, by the way, but yeah, there's going to be a brand new crew. Old weapons from World War II will still remain on the site, and the final thing he says is you start with the torch until you turn on power. Okay, so I just read that out to you, and with that being said, let's work in reverse order. So the first thing, or the last thing he mentioned actually, is you start with a torch until you turn on power. What does that mean? Well, if you guys saw in the Black Ops Cold War Zombies gameplay trailer, the mini teaser trailer, there was a guy walking around with a 1911, and all there was a flashlight, and that's what Tom Henderson means. He also went on to clarify it later on in the day that by torch he means flashlight. So until you turn on power in this map, whatever it may be, whether it's a full-on NACT and UNTOTEN remake, reimagined with the massive areas extended beyond it, or it is the TRANZIT remake and NACT inside of it, regardless, you will be starting in the complete dark with nothing but 1911 and a torch, which is really cool. It sounds awesome. It sounds like they're trying to get back more towards the scarier zombies aspect. And again, if there's anyone who could do that, I believe it's more so Treyarch, and not make it boring or just make it jump scary like World War II Zombies. No offense to them, but yeah, that's that point explained. Next up, he says old weapons from World War II still remain on site, and basically what this means is that in a game like World at War Zombies, we definitely had some weapons that aren't in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Now, in order to compensate for that, make the zombies mode a little bit more unique, they may bring back some of those older style weapons, again, that may not make an appearance necessarily in Black Ops Cold War MP. They'll still keep them in Zombies just to keep a little bit more of that nostalgic vibe in the game mode, because as you guys already know, they like nostalgia in Zombies because it's a hard kicker for most of the community. But yeah, again, basically what that means, any weapons from World at War Zombies, not any, just some of the weapons from World at War Zombies that aren't in Black Ops Cold War initially, meaning an MP or campaign, they should be making their way into Zombies. Again, what exactly those weapons are, we'll have to wait and see, but some of those weapons from World at War Zombies should make their way into Black Ops Cold War Zombies, despite not being in the rest of the game. And again, the next point up that he has here is just new crew. That I went through the bottom 2 points. Moving on to the third point from the bottom, he says that there's a new crew. That's pretty obvious. We talked about this in the most latest video. We don't really know who the crew is. We know one of the guys is Weaver, although it hasn't been confirmed. We've matched stuff up. It looks exactly like Weaver, but other than that, we don't know who the other people are. We don't 100% know the exact storyline route they're taking with this either, but we do know that one of the guys is Weaver. Regardless, we'll find out about our new crew very soon. By the way, guys, I'm very sorry. Still, even from the previous video, I have not slept a very long time. I've been grinding out streams and school and a lot of other stuff, so I may be stuttering a lot. Sorry about that, but we're moving along as nicely as we can. Okay, now moving up to the final point before last. And this actually does link with the last point, but I guess we'll just read both of them at the same time and explain them very quickly because it's just a very basic backstory. He says that zombie Nazis escape and infect the site in NACT and UNTOTEN, and obviously there's going to be Russian plus Nazi zombies. And he also says that NACT and UNTOTEN in Black Ops Cold War Zombies was reused by the Russians for their nuclear program. So I guess that would give us a little bit more context onto what is going on here, maybe even how the zombies actually came to be zombies. So we have this map, NACT and UNTOTEN. It's obviously a lot later than the original version of it. We see graffiti on the wall. We see a dark matter kind of arrow kind of probably pointing us towards power, but this map itself was reused by the Russians for their nuclear program. We're assuming that there was some kind of issue with the nuclear program, which, you know, maybe allowed something to leak out, and maybe that's how the zombies were created. And now we have Russian and Nazi zombies infecting NACT and UNTOTEN, and maybe again the even bigger map in the bigger picture, TRANZIT remade. And again, we're fighting alongside a new crew with the Black Ops Cold War Zombies and even some older World War II style weapons as we make our way to turn on power with the torch on our hand, only a torch and nothing but darkness until we turn on power completely, and bang, we have the lights on and we're able to play and actually see the map that we're playing in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies. But as for today, guys, that is it. Make sure if you guys did go ahead to enjoy the video that you go ahead to drop it a thumbs up, as well as make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you, again, don't want to miss any other videos like this, any elite Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies guides, any informational videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of your meatballs.
I've been wishing for some better days.